Hey everyone, Joel Hansen here, and welcome to a full day of eating with a competitive eater, aka myself. So I've done a video similar to this before. Yeah, so let's do it again, and then I'll also give you some gym footage, which is highly requested at the end of the video. So yeah, currently it's like a lot later in the day than normally I start eating, but I've just been busy this morning. Went to the gym, all that stuff. So I haven't eaten yet. It's about 3 p.m. Not that I recommend not eating until 3 p.m. It's just the way it goes. But my diet is basically, it's not the same foods every day, but it's about the same macronutrient composition. So essentially it's like the same stuff pretty much every day. Well, it equates to the same thing every day. So I'm gonna start eating, I'm hungry, and let's have some fun. All right, so here I have, it's like the leg fell off, whatever, but this is like a quarter chicken. So it's like a back, like a thigh with back attached, some people also call them. So yeah, I'm gonna shove this in the microwave. I also have 2 pieces of toast in the toaster. I'll put some light, I can't believe it's not butter on it. And yeah, I'll show you what we get going. Then my chicken's heated up. So I'm just gonna eat right out of the container because I'll have to wash it anyway. Some barbecue sauce, some hot sauce. Then I'm just gonna eat this. I personally don't eat the skins. I always take them off. You should try to take them off before I cook them, but if I don't, I'll try to take them off after. At least as much as I can. I also got 2 more pieces of toast. I didn't butter this one. Then I always have about 100 grams of carbohydrates from fruits, so generally it's like at least 4 servings. Usually I'll just eat like 4 apples or something like that, but today I'm getting a little fancy. First time I've actually taken this blender out and used it since a long time ago, probably almost a year. But I'm gonna make like a smoothie, I call it like ice cream. Usually it's better if I have bananas. I don't have bananas, but yeah, so I'm feeling fancy today, so let's do it. But it's always like about 100 grams of carbs from fruits every day. So here I have about a pound of mixed berries, which is roughly about 60 carbs. So that's pretty cool. Berries are a lot like lower in carbohydrates than a lot of fruits, a lot higher in fiber. So generally, optimally, if I had a couple or like a frozen banana, I put a frozen banana in there. I don't have one. And usually I'd prefer to have like almond milk or soy milk to put in there. I mean, you could use regular milk. I don't have either. But always an obligatory, this is a scoop of protein. So this one is called a, what's it called? A snickerdoodle flavor. I like vanilla usually, but I don't have it. I'm not using this like as a protein shake per se. You really put the like whey protein or the protein powder in it more to act as like a creamer. Because I make a very thick consistency, kind of like ice cream. And it's even better if you have the emulsifiers in the soy milk or almond milk. And then the banana. Banana adds a lot of texture, but YOLO! So the key for the thickness for it to resemble ice cream is to use as little liquid as possible and get to your desired thickness without, well, I always usually overheat the blender, but I might add already a bit too much liquid. You gotta have a good blender for this. This is a Ninja, it works really well. Vitamixes are also good too. So I'll kind of show you. So you're gonna see that it's like, it's so thick it's barely moving. And like I can hold it sideways, Ajay here. I can tip it upside down, like it's not moving. There's a little bits, like you can see there's a color, maybe a little bit darker color here. So like I also kind of mix it up a little bit, bring some of the stuff on the bottom to the top. Just make sure it's really well distributed, because the stuff on the bottom is being mixed a bit more than the stuff on the top. Again, considering that this is all so thick that it's not properly being mixed. Ooh, that's good, like it normally would. And if it's not sweet enough, sometimes I've had Splenda in the past, but this is way sweet enough. So here, I'll show you. It's not really moving that much. Like that's how thick it is. It's like soft serve ice cream. All right, so perfect consistency. Like again, it's literally like ice cream. Look at this, like it stays formed on a spoon. Probably like, I guess like, I think it's even like thicker than yogurt. Very, very thick yogurt kind of. It's aerated from all the blending, the whipping. It is creamy. It's really good. There was a time in my life where I literally had this every single day. It was delicious. And I now am remembering why. I haven't made this in probably maybe 3 years, 4 years. Because it takes a while. Gotta have the ingredients. So good. You know, I'm very like, I'm all about convenience. Like, I don't really care about tastes and stuff all too much. Like, well, I'm gonna enjoy something, but my day to day, I'm so simple. Like, I'm cooking chicken legs, and like literally all I do is just have them in the oven. I don't care. Like, I can add sauces and stuff afterwards. Just throw them in there. And yeah, so usually just like grab apples or whatever it is. So I'm gonna eat this, enjoy it, and yeah, it's delicious. So I literally just walked from my kitchen to my little corner here, my table, called my workspace. Probably took me about a whole 10 seconds. Time is 3:36. Excuse me. Getting over a cold. So yeah, like I tell people before, like I don't really do like meals. There's no meals per day. I just eat what I want to eat, and I fulfill my macronutrient desires, and that's it. So whether I was eating for 1 hour in a day, or whether I'm eating for 12 hours a day, it all amounts to the same thing. So here on my computer, I do a lot. This is where I do all my editing. Computer. And this is where I spend probably about minimum 20, maybe 30 hours a week. So basically I have a call like 9 to 5-ish schedule. Usually I try to go to the gym in the morning. This week I've been really bad, so I'm going afterwards. And usually I finish my evenings right here. Unless I'm doing something or traveling, but when I'm here, I'm working. All right, I'm sorry, but like, this is just so good. I gotta brag. Like, just like, oh, it's so good. Well, that was great. Best thing, I still have some left. All right, so the time is 4:40. I had a couple swigs of vegetable cocktail, so basically like V8, and now I'm just eating the rest of my carrots, which unfortunately is like 1 1/4, and then I'm gonna have my apple, which will be my fruit for the day. So Granny Smith apple. Love Granny Smith apples. I like the acidity, the sourness. So yeah, still editing. All right, the time is, if my phone will work, 5:11. I have about that many green beans. I don't know, it might be like a half a pound. I just have some potassium chloride on it, like a salt substitute, and some salt. Sodium chloride. Potassium chloride, sodium chloride. That's it. I'm just gonna eat my beans. All right, I just had a multivitamin and a calcium supplement. Forgot to show you me taking those. And then I made oatmeal. So this is 1 1/3 cup uncooked, and however much it actually blows and expands to. And I put in this salt, Splenda, and about a tablespoon, or not a tablespoon, about a teaspoon or a little less of my light, I can't believe it's not butter. Very delicious. So it's about, excuse me, it's about 8 o'clock. I'm about just finished editing that video, so I don't know how long that took, probably like 4.5, 5 hours. What else? I haven't eaten anything else yet. I'm gonna eat a little bit more. So somewhere about our like macros for the day, we're probably about 60, 70 grams of protein, maybe about 70. 240, let's say 250, probably 250 carbs, and then fat, relatively low. I'd say maybe like 40, maybe about 40-ish grams, something like that. So I'm gonna eat a little bit more, and yeah, let's do it. All right, and last thing, so I have a can of beans here. I just drain them. There's white kidney beans, and then I'll have like, I mean, this is like a little piece that fell off, and I'll probably have like 1 chicken leg. And that's about it. That'll give us like, I don't know, about 100-ish grams of protein. Yeah, 100, just over 100 grams protein. Somewhere about 300 carbs. I'll put some sauce on this. I'll show you what they look like in a moment. And yeah. And my bad, I basically started eating in the kitchen, but I stopped. So I actually, instead of just like 1 chicken leg, I went for 2, so I had one other one, which I just ate 1 chicken leg. So I still have the one right here. I just ate one in the kitchen. I kind of forgot I was recording. And then I have all the beans, which I put a little bit of barbecue sauce, some salsa, and a little bit of hot sauce on. And that's it. That's all I'm gonna eat today. I mean, my food's changed day to day, but macronutrient composition is pretty much about the same. I normally have a little bit more vegetables. Like normally, like I only have like basically 1 carrot left today, or like 1 carrot left. Normally probably about 5, but besides that, I mean, pretty normal. This is a Saturday, so I mean, I was around home since 3 o'clock. So I mean, obviously the timing and everything's different if it's a weekday. But yeah, that's about it. So, hope you enjoyed. Thanks for joining me on my day of eating. Hope it gives you an insight. A lot of people want to see this. And now, enjoy some gym footage. And alright everybody, so welcome to a day at the gym with Joel. So first off, I'll start by saying I don't recommend anybody ever do what I do. This is not a good gym program by any means. I have a number of significant injuries that I try to work through and work with, and at this point I'm really just trying to preserve my muscle mass to the best of my abilities. So yeah, but we'll dive into it. So first I did some foam rolling, as you just saw. I did some mobility and kind of massage and stuff with my lacrosse ball against the wall. Definitely recommend everybody spending a lot of time doing stretching and stuff as much as possible. I even need to spend a lot more. I'm quite tight. I spend a lot of time sitting at a desk and stuff. So I did some incline benching. So I partially tore my right pec tendon probably about like 7 years ago now, 6-7 years ago, doing flat benching. So I cannot flat bench. I haven't been able to in, again, about 6 or 7 years. So I do an incline. This incline, if this makes sense, like this seat doesn't move at all. So normally I'd like maybe a little bit less of a like not as high. So I kind of lift my butt a little bit and kind of arch my back a little bit more just to kind of make up for that. So it kind of gets to the angle which works for me, which because it really is an ongoing thing with my pec. So like I will have sometimes a good couple weeks where I'll like start pushing the weights and getting stronger, and my pec tendon doesn't bother me, and then I'll come back to like irritating it and having to take a week off and etc, etc. But essentially I was at started at 185. Well, I mean I warmed up, then I did some sets with 185. I think they're about sets of maybe like 5 or 8. I think about 8. And then I went to 195. I think it was 195. That is 205 right there, maybe 200, 205, something like that. And this I think I just did for one, but I did like sets of 8. I think it's 185. I did a set or two with 195, and then I just did this just for fun, just to kind of feel it out. I was feeling pretty good this day, so I kind of take advantage of where I am. As far as training goes, and what I built my base on, I'm a big fan of 5x5s and heavy training. So if you have the ability, definitely recommend doing 5x5s heavy. I'm not into fluff and puff. If you have the ability, I don't have the ability. Then I went to this little fly machine. Again, with my pec, I kind of turn it more into a pec deck. I bring myself forward a little bit, limit the range of motion, and do a few sets. I mean, for like this, I mean, I just did the whole stack. It's not heavy. And then, yeah, like I said, just kind of really focus on your my frontal contractions without kind of elongating that tendon, putting it at a compromised position. That is usually where it hurts and irritates it. So essentially, we'll call this like a few sets on the pec deck. Usually do about 3 to 5 sets, anywhere from, let's say, like 10 to 15 reps a set. Next injury we'll talk about, I have a partial tear to my left patellar tendon. It was really significant. At first when it happened, I couldn't even walk. This was about 4 years ago, so I haven't been able to train legs in 3 or 4 years, being like actually squat or deadlift. At one point I was actually strong, and leg day was my favorite. Unfortunately that has changed. I mean, this is sped up, so it looks kind of funny, but I just do essentially some work. Again, it's not like a full range of motion on the little leg press machine here. Then I went to some tricep extensions. I have a series of ongoing right tricep tendinitis, kind of like tennis elbow. But again, just did some rope pull downs. It works really well. I used to do a lot of kind of overhead tricep work, but I can't do it anymore with my tendinitis. So essentially just kind of like my push downs. Then I have some, we did some just machine shoulder press here. Usually I would use dumbbells or a barbell. However, with my abdominal injury that I've been dealing with, this was just a lot easier on it. And in all reality, I'm just very thankful to be able to train shoulders again. I have a severe kind of proximal bicep tendinitis, which I've been dealing with for now about a year and a bit. And it's only really recently I've been able to train shoulders again after about a year. So just super thankful I can do that. And at that, thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll just flex with the wall getting in my way.